This is a snapshot of the conversation as it erupted across Europe today. Look, Huawei becoming a trending topic right the way across the continent, fair to say, but really focused in the UK. And this is a company that only made inroads in Europe in 2005 with a breakthrough deal with BT. Before then, it had no real foothold outside of mainland China. Now, it's at the centre of these tensions between China and the West. So what has this conversation been, this conversation that's been trending, and who's been driving it? Well, fair to say, a number of politicians in the UK from within Boris Johnson's own party have been piling the pressure on for the Prime Minister to pull the plug on these plans to work with Huawei. One of them was David Davis, the former Brexit secretary. Now, he was saying here it was a really good move. He'd been urging for a while the government to take this action. And of course, there have been some questions raised, though, about this, with the UK looking to its future beyond the European Union. Questions raised about exactly how far they were willing to go in case it jeopardised future trade relations. And that led some people, also on the backbenches of the Conservative Party, to say at best this was a slow goodbye to Huawei for 5G, but leaving the door open for them in the future. Now, earlier I spoke to Ian Duncan-Smith, a former contender to be the Prime Minister in the UK, former leader of the Conservative Party, now a senior figure on the backbenches. And he certainly didn't think this went fast enough or far enough.
2027. Why 7 years? And then you begin to understand by the other bits that weren't really announced out too clearly. Number one, if BT or the others have stockpiled Huawei equipment by the 1st of January, they will be at liberty to install it in the next 7 years and run it. Nothing on 4G or 3G. And that means Huawei will be upgrading those systems with new software elements, because there's no policy on that at all, which is astonishing to me, because that will pose a threat. If they're a threat on 5G, they'll certainly become a threat on 4G.
Well, then on the other side, you had leading business figures like Lord Sugar, he presents The Apprentice in the UK, saying here that this was nothing more than a protectionist move by the United States and that Huawei UK would have been a key partner. And it's not just him who's been pointing out that this was a wrong decision. Many other people saying it was simply playing politics. One of those was James Ball, who saw this as a big bluff. This is what he told me.
Foreign policy hawks have picked a particularly stupid issue. They've picked something that's incredibly costly to the UK government, that's not a sort of particularly strategic sort of blow to China if we don't take. And they've made it their sort of signal flag. And so, yeah, cool. We could pretend that we should have this big reset with China. We're not going to. They know that. We know that. And so Huawei seems to be the company that's been chosen for the token gesture. But it's a token that's going to cost, an 8-figure price tag.
So what about the two big players here then? China and Washington, America, of course. Well, the US ambassador, the Chinese ambassador to the UK has put in a tweet here. This was a disappointing move. We know he'd previously warned that the UK would face consequences if they moved against Huawei. But when it came to the US side, you had people like Mike Pompeo saying that the decision was a move forward for security. Really, you can see this playing into the Trump administration's policy goals. So, Ollie, yep, not everybody was satisfied with this decision, even those who wanted it to go through. But it is certainly a big change, and Huawei have said they'll fight it at every step.